Hi guys, this is DCRS here, and today I'll be doing I guess you could say it's like a meta discussion. In this case, with the current list in April 2015 ban list. So, yeah, I want to talk about the current meta decks and how maybe it will affect the next ban list. Hopefully, it'll come out. It's probably going to come out for August, if people are what people are saying, if it's going to come out by then. But yeah, the top five meta decks, or in this case you would see uh, more often than others, is Necros, Burning Abyss, Shadows, Stellar Knights, Cliffhorts, and these next five you don't really see much often, but they do get played at some points, but they're not really top tier meta decks, they're more like tier 2, I guess you could say. Tier 2, 1.5 maybe, I don't know. Maybe more like tier 2 or tier 3 ish. So, spiritual beasts, ritual beasts, I guess you could say, spiritual ritual. Your Sanjus don't really play, see as much play as all the other decks, but it's still a fun deck and it's cheap to get. Unless you're getting loser turns, which is, it's not really budget anymore. Heroes, you don't really see much heroes nowadays. You do see some play of heroes. I guess you could say there's more than you Sanjus, but heroes you do see quite often. Infernoids you don't rarely. These two, Ferryman and Infernoids, you don't really see much often than the others, but they do show up uh, in tournaments occasionally, I guess you could say. But yeah, for Necros, they're probably the top tier. They're the most consistent deck out of all the other decks. And yeah, Burning Abyss are probably second place. Shaddol's probably third because you see more Shaddol's in all the other decks. And they require skill to play as well. So these three decks, Necros, Burning Abyss, and Shaddol's, are probably more skill based. These are more helm based. I guess you could say more more relying on their singular plays. Tellarknights and Cliffhorts, because they do the same thing over and over and over again. They don't require much skill, these two, but they do see play when it comes to any meta. They're more like any meta decks in a way. But Cliffhorts are more. They used to be meta, but now they're not meta anymore. What needs to come back off the list? Probably Thunder King. Thunder King needs to go like 2 or 3, but depends though, because you can bombless it and stuff like that, or Dark Hole Red Geki and those type of things. But Thunder King, you don't. A lot of decks mostly just use cards just to get rid of Thunder King. But Thunder King can be a pain. But if it's a 2 or 3, maybe not. Should come back. At 1, it's still a pain. But 1-1, yeah, that kind of does cause a problem. But I don't mind Thunder King returning, because Thunder King needs to come back at one point. For heroes, I believe Stratos needs to come back. Stratos, yes, Stratos. Stratos needs to come back. Heroes, in a way, with Stratos, it's the most consistent card out of all of them. It pretty much makes the deck. But with Stratos, they need to errata the card immediately, or in this case, try and errata it as soon as possible. Because, yes, it has an infinite type of search effect, which pretty much activates when you normal special summon it. And it's not once per turn as well, so Stratos definitely needs to get its once per turn type of effect. But yeah, I think they didn't really errata it properly when they were errataing it to one type of hero. They should have said it's once per turn, a type of effect. You can add these to count, or you can pop certain cards. But yeah, Stratos needs to come back at least at 1. Please go back at 1, because Stratos. Well, it's Stratos. It's the name of every. It's pretty much the name for main search of your deck. Pretty much, Stratos became a popular meme name or something like that for every deck. Pretty much, oh, your deck. So your deck has a. Oh, so it's that type of Stratos deck. Stratos type of card. Your Tellarknight Deneb is it's a Stratos type of deck. Or your Rotor is your. No, Rotor is a spell card. Pretty much you get the idea. Shrit or something like that. Bryonic the Stratos of the deck. It's pretty much a name for itself. Stratos becomes a name for itself. Stratos. It pretty much means the searcher of the deck. Now, what I think might get hit or might not get hit, Laval Chain, it creates plays. It creates broken plays. If you don't know what broken plays means, it means it creates loops and stuff like that. Laval Chain is the problem for all, in this case, all decks that have an OTK, or in this case, setup. It creates setups. And Laval Chain, it needs to get hit. To one, I might think that's a good idea, but banned seems to be, I don't know, maybe a bit too far, but Laval Chain creates so many plays that it's not funny. But yeah, I think Laval Chain needs to go at least one, or in this case ban worthy, because Laval Chain creates too many plays. With the Dijin lock, the only way to get the Dijin lock with ritual monsters like Necros is that you need Laval Chain to do your thing, and without Laval Chain, it's really inconsistent to run Dijin, and everyone hates Dijin. It's like a Van Exampness type of monster which you ritual summon with. So yeah, the Dijin is broken, but if you don't have Laval Chain, it makes the deck harder to use. In this case, less consistent hands. Because for one, the Laval Chain makes Dijin more consistent. It makes the ritual Necros cards more ritual spell cards of Necros to be more consistent. In this case, it makes it more active. Without the Laval Chain, the Dijin lock does need to get the Dijin release of rituals does not need to get banned, because without Laval Chain, the plays won't be as consistent as before. So yeah, Laval Chain needs to get hit, not Dijin. Laval Chain is the main problem because it starts combos. With Burning Abyss, there are certain cards that create loops. In this case, it makes the floodgates. Sir and Graf, they make the plays loop in a way. So you summon Graf, then you summon Sir and Graf. Graf, you summon Sir, and Sir, you summon Dante. And you get Dante's effect to add back Graf or Sir. But yeah, Sir is one of the main cards that creates a loop in a way. But yeah, Burning Abyss, they just loop like crazy. They're worse than Talonites, trust me, because they do a lot of things in one turn. With Necros, also, Unicorn is one of the most stupidest cards ever made, because one, it's a skill drain for effect type of extra deck type of monsters. It's a skill drain for that. So with Unicorn, it has two types of effects that make Necros incredibly resourceful. One, you can discard it to add back a Necros card, any Necros card. It doesn't have to be spell. It can be a monster as well. So Unicorn, it's really strong of a card. Also, it's 2300. Its defense is kind of mediocre in a way, but it's a level 4, so it's kind of strong. It's too strong actually for level 4. But yeah, it's skill drain for face up extra deck monsters, and also it's a recyclable card. So Unicorn at least needs to go to 1, because this card is so powerful. It's worse than Tellarknights in a way, because, well, I guess you could say Altair grabs your Deneb to search and stuff, but Unicorn just searches. You just add back a card and you get whatever you want. It's worse than Deneb or Altair. It's like, it's a one card whatever you want for Necros. So yeah, it's a recycler card, so Unicorn needs to go to 1. Please, Konami, put it to 1. It's terrible at 3. As I said, Dante creates loops. Dante, maybe go to 1, maybe go to 2, but it kind of kills and burning this in a way, but 2 Dante, I think 2 Dantes is pretty good. Well, but 3's like, if you can get it off and get rid of your opponent's field, you create an OTK. But 2 Dantes is fine. 1 is like, it makes Burning Abyss more of a toolbox type of deck rather than a toolbox extra deck actually, rather than just going for your main extra deck card. And you can also go for Virgil, but you don't really make Virgil as much. But you just mostly make Dante. Now, with the new support coming out for SI frames and what is it? The new that I've read about, the new Cosmos card with a K, Cosmos. Cosmos are probably the new psychic types, and if there's more psychic type of monsters coming out soon with Cosmos, basically the Cosmo archetype, and they create like level 3 or lower type of psychic type of monsters, Emergency Teleport becomes really, really good in any psychic deck. It's pretty much Emergency Teleport is the main card for psychic decks because you need it for psychic decks. And last but not least, Loser Turn. Oh yeah, as I was going to say, Emergency Teleport probably go to 1 to 2. 2, maybe 2's fine. 1 is okay, I guess you say. It does lower the chances of you playing this card, but I think it's more of a tool type of card, like not tool. It's more of a tech card. Yeah, at 3 it's kind of busted, but at 1 or 2 it's okay. You kind of get your plays, but it's not limited as well. It's not a once per turn type effect. You can just play as many as you want, and yeah, it's a special summon 1 level 3 or lower psychic type monster from your hand or deck. During the phase of this turn, banish that monster. It doesn't even have a restriction. You can at the end of the turn it does get banished the monster, but when you play the card, you can do whatever you please with the field. You pretty much don't have to have. You can have monsters on the field, and then you can activate an emergency teleport. You can choose to activate it without monsters on the field. It's pretty much there's no limitation to this card. It's too broken for future psychic type of monsters. And when there's a new psychic archetype that's going to be they're probably going to do more psychic archetypes now from now on because it's a new thing ish. It's started in the synchro era of 5Ds, but now it's starting to get more noticed. But yeah, emergency teleport. It needs to get hit for future type of decks that revolve around psychics with level 3 or lower. Because 1, it's too good of a card. It's much broken. Wow, it's so broke. But yeah, it is actually kind of broken in a way. Loser Turn needs to probably get hit because it just came out of the last set. What was it called? Cross Souls. But Loser Turn, yeah, it's a better version of Skill Drain, but it just makes special summoning more difficult. But yeah, I guess you could say it makes anti-meta decks more anti-meta, but I guess, Stellar Knights aren't really much for anti-meta because they require special summoning and you wouldn't run this in Tellarknights, but you do mostly run it in Cleaves. Please don't mind if their effects negated because they're a skill dream based deck, so they don't mind. And also you run it in what's it called? Your Senjus as well. You can run it in your Senjus because you don't special summon that often. You only special summon when you need to, and you don't. It's like 10% or 1%. Actually, no, 10% chance of you going to an extra deck monster, but you rarely go unless you're going for Cowboy for game, or you're trying to get a specific card off the field, then you go into your Xyz. But you don't really want to get your monsters to be Xyz summoned. You don't really want to put them in overlay them, put them into a Xyz monster because they return to hand, and so they're like spirits in a way. But yeah, your Senjus are they're pretty good with this card, and also with Cleaforts. But Cleaforts can abuse this card, lose them. That's all I have to say. But yeah, this is my meta discussion for the new, in this case, hopefully it might get hit on this case. In this case, what could come off the list, what couldn't come off the list, I don't know. I just want to do a discussion because the meta's really boring at the moment, and there's not much really to do. Because I just play in my locals. I just play Talonites, and everyone just plays, I don't know, Shadows or Necrons, or no one really plays much Burning Beast anymore. Ritual Beast, it's not as consistent, so no one really plays these specific 5 decks unless you're playing for fun. But Cleaforts and my locals have dropped dramatically. You don't see Cleaforts at all because the deck is like, you don't see it anymore. It's like not a meta deck anymore. It doesn't really fall into the category of top 5. In this case, one of the top 3-4 decks. It's like off the meta list now because they can only hit skill drain to hit so many Clee cards, Clee sporting cards, that it's no longer a viable, consistent. Well, it's actually a consistent way, but it's not fast now. Well, not as annoying as it used to be because Clees were pretty meta at the time when next challenges came out. Yeah, now Clees can't do much because they're not usable much now anymore. But you do see heroes occasionally. But yeah, this is DCRS here, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Sorry for the long video. Wow, 16 minutes long. Well, in this case, nearly up to 17 minutes. I didn't want to make this long, but yeah, I want to do a meta discussion for the current format, and hopefully for next format, see whatever gets hit, or in this case, comes off the list. So yeah, Stratos, come back. Please come back. And yeah, this is DCR here, signing out. DCR, sir. Bye.